first question for you guys. Obviously, this is probably one you guys have gotten a lot, but the fact that I've seen the movie, I am very curious as to what was different this time around as far as you guys' particular positions, the director and actor. Was there anything different for you guys this time around?
Well, I think the fact that we're keeping it secret made everything feel different. For myself, with Captain 2 and Captain 3, it was finishing a story that I set out to make. And then with this one, I had something to say again. I felt like I had something to prove. And I was working through a lot of personal stuff, which made this the most personal of the 4 films. So it was like the healthiest way to work through a lot of tragedies that had happened by laughing about it and then also getting up the anger for violent stuff. But I think that's really what made it different. And for keeping it secret and being able to utilize it there the way we did by just suddenly showing it and then touring with it was a whole different experience from anything else that we had had in the previous 3.
And Kane, you've worked with many directors. What is it about Adam that keeps bringing you back?
Because he is so brilliantly amazing at writing comedy and horror things. You know what I mean? I always say I love to play Jason in Friday the 13th movie, but so often when the audience would go, they would become bored with the scenes between the violence. If Jason wasn't on the screen, a lot of times people were just like, come on, man, get to the next kill.
Yeah.
With the Hatchet film, it's not like that at all. The scenes in between the violence are just as entertaining, if not more so, because of the comedy elements and the actors that he is able to get to be involved in these things. So it was just nice. It's just so nice to know that people are going to cringe at some of the shit I do on screen, but they're going to be laughing during other parts. So it's an entertaining film throughout. And I can't really think of too many writer/directors that can pull that off.
Yeah, it's interesting that both of you guys mentioned the humor, especially considering that Joe, he thinks this is Adam's like breakup film or like move on film. And I will say that the humor works perfectly in this one, and I actually felt like I was seeing more so a comedy than I was a horror. And it was comedy first in this with this film. In the other movies, I can't say that that's true. Is that something that you were particularly seeking to do, or was it ultimately just trying to prove something, as you said, Adam?
Now, before he answers, let me just ask you: are you sure you want to say it's comedy first when I'm sitting there?
Well,
I can find out where you live.
Outside of your scenes, I would say that it felt like more of a comedy film. And I don't want you to find out where I live, because last time I met you, you choked me out, and I was a little surprised at your grip. I did, but I will say that I loved every second of it. So I definitely appreciated you knowing what you were doing.
Yeah. I would actually say that. I think that this is actually the scariest of the 4. I think this one actually has a few moments of actual suspense and dread. There's even a very sad moment in the film, and after sitting through about 50 tour dates with it, seeing it with an audience, it just really works well.
Yeah.
Whereas the other 3 didn't really have any suspense or any of that to them. They were just kind of like fun and then very violent. So I think one of the reasons why this one is funnier is because it was the pain that I was working through. That's how I deal with it. But also the fact that I got to kind of hit the reset button again. Remember, like 2 and 3 were continuations of the same storyline, and you put the 3 films together, it plays out like a typical 3-act film, where there's the intro, there's a darker center, and then the action-packed finale. And that was supposed to be the end. So with this, I got to start all over again and really have fun with the characters again. But I also got to change the rules. So now moving forward, different things are going to happen that people haven't seen before, including the setting, if we get to make more, of course.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hope that I'm also growing as a filmmaker, as a writer, as a director, as a producer. So I don't know. It's hard to believe that we would be saying that this might be the best one when you're on part 4 of something. That it's not really supposed to happen like that, right? Just based on the feedback alone and how strong the reviews have been and God, the response. I mean, every night of the tour, except for 2, we got full standing ovation, and the other 2 were like half standing ovation.
Not to mention the standing ovation we got in London at Fright Fest,
which was only the second time in the history of that's the second time in 18 years that the audience stood up for a film. And the only other time they got on their feet was when they gave Romero like a lifetime achievement. So it's definitely working as far as we can see. And it's a weird thing to say, but getting to do that tour, it's already, I don't know, I feel like I'm already on to the next thing now. And I know that the movie doesn't come out wide till next week, but it almost doesn't, I hope people like it, but I'm not so concerned about reviews or anything like I might normally be, because I already got to
experience it. Yeah. I actually went to the tour and I loved it. I loved experiencing it with the fans. Like, as you say on your podcast, like it's kind of neat for the movie cryptors to get together and like respond to each other. And that was kind of the vibe that I got actually feeling it firsthand. And I know Kane was a part of the tour as well in some particular areas. Is there anything that either of you guys took away from the tour? Like, I mean, was it, or do you have any stories that you can share that other people might not know about that did happen on tour?
Let's see. As far as like a story from the tour goes, we were always staying in really nice places for the most part. It's kind of surprising. When you're on a budget, you just assume you're going to be like sleeping in the car. Then in Kansas City, which was easily in the top 3 audiences of the tour. They were so loud. The hotel that we were in was so horrific. The shortest version of the story is that it was part hotel, part gas station, and I think part strip club. And walking down the hallway at 3 in the morning when my pocket is filled with cash from the merch, and there's 3 different homeless people in the hallway. And I don't mean outside of the hotel, inside the hotel, and they have no shoes and no shirt on. One of them stands up and starts following me. There's a woman doing housekeeping who frantically opens the first door she can, runs in and slams the door. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to die. So I get in my room, I slam the door, and the guy waited in front of my door for maybe 3 seconds, but it felt like 30 minutes. And then he left, and I'm like, all right, I go to turn on the light. No lights work in the room. So now I'm lighting my way with my cell phone just to make sure I'm actually alone in the room and pulling back the curtain. And all of the electrical sockets have been yanked out of the walls, and there's blood stains on the floor. So I just lied down on top of the bed and tried to sleep for the 2 hours before we had to drive to the next place. And I got bed bugs. And they were so bad, the insides of my ears, my nose, like, so for the next 5 nights of the tour, and people want to take pictures with me, and I'm scratching everywhere, like I've got crabs or something. And then I found out in the theater that they had found a dead body in a mattress in that same hotel. Somebody was complaining that their room stunk, and then they saw a split in the side of the mattress, and there was a dead body in it. So that was the worst part of the tour.
So we're doing a movie based on this story as well.
But I
It's going to be the homeless guy.
was back in Kansas City that weekend and stayed in a Marriott, and it was very different. But really, the tour was like, I mean, the biggest takeaway is like that's how you do it now. That's the way to release an independent movie in theaters. And unfortunately, not everybody can do that. Especially if you're a first-time filmmaker, you don't have a following yet. So how are you going to pull that off? But for those of us that can, that's the way. And you make it an event, and you give people something different and something fun, and make it worth their while to come out. And I don't know, it reminds you why you want to do this in the first place, and that it's worth it.
And for me, I wasn't able to be on too many stops of the tour because their budget wasn't such that they could bring me in. It was just if I happened to be in that same city or nearby around that date, then I would have to be a part of it because it's so much fun to watch a action film with the real fans of the series. And I wish I could have done more. So I didn't really get to experience it that much. But when you show a action film on a cruise ship with the Impractical Jokers, and the entire ship is filled with their fans, and they respond to the movie as well as they did, that shows you something. It's not just horror fans that enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
There was something like 800 people at that screen.
Yes, yes. And these are not necessarily horror fans. These are comedy fans who came to see the movie and loved it.
So that brings up an interesting point. How did Brian Quinn and I think y'all messaged each other on Twitter, correct? And then how did he join the cast, and how did that character evolve into him?
I had written a piece for a site called The Talkhouse, where they have artists write stories about other artists, basically, or other artists' work and how they relate with what they do. And I had written a piece about The Force Awakens that apparently did really well. And then they asked me to do another one, and I said, should I do Practical Joker? And they thought I was kidding. And I'm like, no, I'm totally serious. And so I wrote this piece, and then about, 2 days after it posted, James Murray wrote to me just to thank me for it, and he said, we were really excited when we saw this because we're big fans of yours. I don't know if you saw The Punishment where 2 of us got put in a ski lift, but that was because of Frozen. And I was like, oh shit, wow, that's great. And then like a month later, Q writes to me, never knew about the article because Murray didn't share it with anybody. And just was like writing just to say he was a big fan of the Happy film. And Q's just a huge slasher fan. He's grown up with pictures of Kane on his wall. And so as soon as I did that, like, how could I not turn one of the parts into a role for him?
Yeah.
And so I did a complete rewrite of the character of Hobson, and I made it so that it was his. Like, the character is from Staten Island, he has a New York accent, and I think that's why he works so well in the movie, because he is a good actor. But when you're that well known for being yourself, it's no matter how good of an accent he did or whatever I had thrown at him, there would have been a hurdle there to cross. And I'm not saying he couldn't have, but by writing something so specifically for him, tailor-made for him, it just worked. And having him on set really made a difference because the rest of us have been doing this for a long time now. And as the budgets get smaller and the work gets harder, it can become a little disenchanting. And again, these are very hard movies to make. And then you've got a guy there bouncing around like a kid in a candy store, just saying constantly, I can't believe I'm here, I can't believe I get to do this. And it's a good reminder to everybody that we're all lucky to be there and lucky to get to do it.
One final question, guys. With the home video release coming out pretty soon, is there anything special included on the DVD or Blu-ray?
Yes, there is about 90 minutes of bonus features and then 2 commentaries on top of that. So there's one of the features is like an hour long, and all it is fly on the wall footage. So when they put out the re-release of Raiders of the Lost Ark and even E.T., 2 of the coolest things on there were these like little 8 or 10 minute clips of uncut footage from the set. And all it is you're watching them make the movie, and it was so cool to get to see that. And so my assistant, Austin Bosley, he put those together for us. And so it's something different than what we've done before. It's not intercut with all these interviews or tons of clips from the movie that you already watched. You're just an hour of watching the movie get made start to finish as if you're there. And that's something I hope more movies start doing, because, man, there's so many movies I love that I would love to have that bonus feature for. So, another thing to point out with bonus features is these are things that we have to make ourselves. Distributors don't care about those things anymore, which is unfortunate because for a lot of fans, that's the difference between a rental and a purchase.
Yeah.
And everybody's worried about what's happening in the industry. Budgets are getting smaller because it's so hard for movies to make their money back, to turn a profit. So don't take away the very reason why people want to own something. So I'm very happy that we were able to get that stuff in and on the disc. I think everything that Eric Jones has done, that my company has done, has always had really good special features. Really, really good. And this is no exception.
Well, that's exactly why I was so curious. Kane, do you have any final thoughts? Do you have any stories about bed bugs or strippers or homeless people following you home?
No bed bugs, and just nothing that contrived. But I'm just really happy with the response to this film, and considering what we had to work with, it's an amazing product. It really is. And I'm talking money-wise. It was not any kind of budget that we would have wanted. But like Adam said, everyone involved did the film because they love doing it.
Yeah. Well, again, guys, thank you for your time. I really did enjoy the movie. I saw it in theaters, and I watched it again at home. So, if anything, I fucking loved it. So I definitely appreciate you doing it for the fans and keeping it a secret, because when I did dig that up, once I found out that it was an actual sequel, I lost my shit. So thank you for doing that, and I look forward to seeing you at the Still Digging Up the Marrow tour when that happens.
You might be waiting a long time for that one, but we'll see.
I'll wait, man. Fingers crossed, and thanks again, guys.
Thanks, man.
Bye.